Hello, everyone. This is Johnny, one of your two hosts, and I just wanted to leave a quick little blurb here at the beginning to explain that we are trying social distancing for the situation that is going on in our world right now. And because of that, the audio for this recording is not perfect, but it's what we had, and we couldn't re-record the whole damn episode again. So we apologize in advance if you can't hear everything as well as we would have liked you to. We are working on it, and we will have a better episode going forward. Cross your fingers, everybody. But we are doing our best, and so is everybody else in the world, and everybody stay safe. Wash your hands, cough into your elbow, and try not to go out and about as much as humanly possible. Yeah, so enjoy.
I hate both of you. Welcome to One Foot on the Ground.
Oh, are we starting?
Are we not?
I guess. Hello. Welcome.
What did we say? Is that what we do?
I don't remember.
Is that what we sound like?
I think so. Something like that. I feel like I'm talking quieter than usual, and I don't know why. Probably because I have headphones.
Yeah, I'm trying to project to give the same energy that I normally give, but it feels really weird being alone and doing that. And just an FYI to any of the listeners, John and I are practicing social distancing. But also this is like super convenient for us since we don't live like super close.
Yeah,
so
that's actually very true.
Especially now it seems like the best time to start.
Yeah, exactly. Well, since we're supposed to be sort of quarantining, sounds like a drink, which we can't go to a bar and get.
No, we cannot, but we can share recipes. We can share recipes online for those of you who want to drink at home.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, somebody can come up with that. So, welcome to One Foot on the Ground. Well, I know you said it already, but I'm reiterating.
No, I was talking about
I got lost.
Recipe. I'm a beverage master, John.
Oh, true. Okay. Oh, I mean, you're having the beverages today.
I've got so many beverages at all times, and I'm in my home.
I actually have two different waters, but they're the same water. It's just in two different containers.
My water's out of reach. I'll get to it.
So it's weird to see myself while we're recording. I can see like my jowls and my creases. It's really weird. Oh, I shave for the listeners.
Yeah, I thought you were feeling for your mustache because you do that over your mustache a lot. Yeah, you do like touch it and you like.
Oh, I do. I actually went to go itch my neck earlier today, and it was weird. It's always strange the first like week because I'm used to like there being a huge barrier between me and my skin, and it's not there. So I'm like kind of like,
and you have nothing to push out of the way when you're like tying your neckties.
It's just, I don't have neckties. I'm not that fancy. So anyway, this is Ashley.
And this is Johnny.
And today we are discussing, I'm not going to say it in French. I'm just going to say Beauty and the Beast. It's
La Belle, I don't know French. But...
actually, I'd probably do better if I had it in front of me. Hold on, everybody.
Oof. I opened a beer and it is a lot sweeter than I was expecting.
Jean Cocteau's Beauty and the Beast. La Belle et la Bête. La Belle et la Bête.
Comme il le
So,
bête.
and this is from 1946.
It sure is.
Uh,
Written and directed by Jean Cocteau.
Jean Cocteau. Actually, I was listening to something and they said Cocteau. So I don't know if that guy was just being a weirdo or if it's Cocteau or Cocteau. I don't know.
Chateau is spelled with T-E-A-U, so he might be onto something.
Chateau, Cocteau. Oh, you know what? Maybe I've been pronouncing it wrong my whole entire freaking life.
Yeah, but Cocteau just sounds right because
Jean
of cockatoos. Yeah.
Well, it also rolls, but a Jean Cocteau rather than Jean Cocteau. Like a big toe.
No, you
Like a
can be
big
like
toe.
Jean
Like
Cocteau.
look at my big toe.
Jean Coc's big toe.
Ew, gross. This all sounds very dirty. So, Jean Cocteau's Beauty and the Beast, which I have the Blu-ray.
Of course, you do the Criterion edition, no less.
The Criterion. Oh, now I wanted to talk about that for a second. So, when I was starting to collect films on DVD or the Blu-ray,
DVD, as the Americans would say.
DVD or Blu-ray. Well, first of all, DVDs. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Jean Cocteau's Beauty and the Beast was the very first Criterion I ever owned.
Because it started with the letter B?
No, because I wanted that film. And, of course, it's not like you can just go out and buy Jean Cocteau's Beauty and the Beast if it's not on Criterion. So that's how I got it. I believe I have the original VHS of it, too, somewhere. That was also, I think it was Home Vision. I think we've briefly mentioned this before, that like all the releases by, I think it was Home Vision, were eventually Criterion.
Okay.
But that was on VHS. Anyway, not the point. It doesn't matter. So, but when they upgraded to Blu-ray, it was the first Blu-ray Criterion that I ever owned. In fact, it might have been the first Blu-ray I owned. No. Wait a minute. No. First Criterion Blu-ray for sure. I want to say that, well, the very first DVD I ever owned was technically the Alien films. And
Those
then
are some of the first I owned. The Quadrilogy.
The Quadrilogy was the first DVDs I ever owned. And Purple Rain was the first, like, I think I probably got them the same day, if not like days apart. And then, of course, every time there's an iteration upgrade, I have to get those. So
it's quite funny that you and I are such very different people. My first Blu-ray was Mean Girls.
That's fun.
Yeah, and
I just purchased that the other day at
Criterion.
Target.
Oh, I did a Black Friday sale. I think I had purchased a PS3 that had Blu-ray, like obviously included. Okay. And I was all pumped, and I was like, add to cart. But Mean Girls was on sale, and I was like, yes. So
okay,
that.
I like it.
Yeah, first Blu-ray Criterion was Royal Tenenbaums.
Oh, good choice.
I really like the artwork on it.
Well, yeah, by his brother.
Was it?
For those, yeah.
Oh, right on.
He did. I mean, obviously, he didn't do the artwork for like the ones that are not that don't look like that. Like he didn't do Fantastic Mr. Fox art.
Okay.
And he didn't do Moonrise Kingdom art for Criterion. But I think up until those, all of the artwork for Wes Anderson films for Criterion were done by his brother.
Oh, right on.
Which was what he preferred. So anyway, that's about completely other films. That's not about what we're talking about. So what is your rundown of this film?
So there's oh my goodness, I had it right before we started too, because I was like, it's Beauty and the Beast as though you know it, but it's also Beauty and the Beast as though you don't. It's like Cinderella, but with a beast. A dude picks a flower. It's the wrong flower, And he can either stay and die, or he can go back and convince one of his 3 daughters to come back. Not his son, who's kind of like a garbage human,
Yeah, he's pretty
and
bad.
come back and be sacrificed to this beast. And he comes back and he tells them that he doesn't want them to go, but he doesn't act like he's like trying to say goodbye. He just gets like ill from, is it grief? Is that why he's
You
sick?
know, I think it's
And
just old days. He just got old and tired. He kept mentioning how old he was too, and I was like, dude, you're like my age. Like,
yeah, and so was she though.
like,
So was Belle.
well, everybody was the same
Belle
age.
was
Everybody in
definitely in her like
France
late
is just
30s,
like,
early 40s, and
yeah,
that's fine. But like,
no,
they
it's
didn't look like kids, you
no.
know.
Well,
And
I think
yeah.
when what am I saying? There's a lot to
What
say.
are you
Well,
saying?
yes. Keep going
Oh
with your
yeah, so
description.
one of his daughters, the fairest of them all,
Mhm.
sacrifices herself, takes the magical horse and yells "Go, go, go!" and goes far away into the castle, where the beast is like, "Oh, but will you marry me? Because I'm gonna ask you that like later." And she was like, "You're a beast." And yeah, there's a lot of like self-loathing, and a lot of yelling. There's a lot of yelling. Ooh, but fancy
Yeah.
costumes. And then, like people die, and then people's like insides die, and then they get pretty outsides, and the movie ends.
That's interesting.
That's my
So
that's my rundown of the Beast
that's
1946.
Jean Cocteau's Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, how accurate do you think I was, John?
it was pretty good. Uh,
Thank you.
I mean,
No.
honestly, if you're gonna, I mean, first of all, I think a lot of people are familiar with Beauty and the Beast mostly because of Disney.
Yes, that's my favorite
I
Disney
think
movie. And I was like, let's see
it,
what we have here.
it's a pretty good one. It's a pretty good one.
Hmm.
Uh, but so, but this one is a little closer to not only the original back in the day version, like the
Yeah.
first documented, but it's also it's a little bit. How would I explain this? So there's version 1,
Hmm.
and there's version 2, which was the one that was by a French woman that I cannot pronounce her name. Uh,
Try.
no, I don't even have it in front of me, so I can't. But hers is the most popular version. I believe hers was the first published version. And then, or maybe widely published, because they have an old ass version that's super long and very detailed with tons of characters.
That's
Hers
like a lot.
cut down the characters, and then Jean Cocteau or Cocteau, whatever, he narrowed it down a little
John
bit
Cockatoo.
more. He narrowed it down more, and but kept a lot of what she had done. But also, how do I say? So the very first version of it, the long ass one,
Uh-huh.
uh, it had the same basic story that we see in this particular film, the same structure. Like the dad. Oh God, there's so many things. Okay, so
Start with the first thing.
start with
Start
the
with thing
first.
number one.
Let's,
Yeah. Yeah, you got this. One at a time.
so okay, so the dad uh, is a business person of some sort, and
He makes money somehow.
well, the thing, this is kind of what I was going to go into. So back when I was a kid, my mom and dad would always say they're waiting for their ship to come in, and I always thought it was just, I didn't know what it meant. I was like, okay, whatever that means. And basically in the long run it means like that sounds really great in my ears. So,
Did it also look great that when I blew it out, it blew up my hair? Like
like
a
in the film,
fucking clown.
that actually happens in this film, and I think it's fantastic. Not with a burp, but whatever. uh so anyway, we'll get to that. So
You can get to it
anyway,
whenever
so
it
they say
is.
waiting for the,
Spoiler.
we're never going to get to anything because I can't figure out how to talk about it. So so anyway, so waiting for your ship to come in. So basically that meant like somebody invested money, like let's say Belle's dad invested money in the idea that a ship would come in with like riches from another world or from another country or something. Kind of like when they would
Yeah.
go get spices from India and stuff like that. So basically you're waiting for your ship to come in. You're waiting for your investment to come in so that you can finally reap the rewards of having done that. And if basically waiting for your ship to come in is the hard part, because first of all, it takes a long time for a ship to cross the ocean. And second of all, what if it gets a storm and your ship gets lost? And in this case,
Or
that's what happened.
pirates.
Or pirates, that's true. I mean, Jack
Yeah.
Sparrow's out there somewhere. So,
Yeah.
David
He was a
Jones.
fumbly pirate. He
But he
seemed
was still
to not care about killing people, but more so just like, living his life, taking whatever.
I mean,
Isn't
that's
that why he was likable? Because he didn't murder? I think that's the only reason, right? That would have been like crossing the line.
probably.
I didn't watch all the movies, so I might not know.
Oh, I like those. They're pretty fun. All but one of them is on Disney Plus.
Oh, which one's not?
On Stranger Tides. I just looked it up because I wanted to watch them all, and I was kind of mad. I was like, God dang it.
Go ahead about ships coming in.
So the
Pirates
ship coming
pillaging
in.
and plundering.
So the dad basically does this. He invests in the ship. The ship never comes in because it gets lost at sea or some bullshit. So, but anyway, so the dad. Okay, so this film opens with what, like the daughters, the dad, the brother, and the brother's best friend / hunting partner.
Yeah, is his best friend not rich? Because, like, in the beginning, I thought he was. Like, I genuinely thought he was, like, a rich Gaston type of character.
I think he which we're going to get to that, but
answer my questions now, John.
Yeah, I believe he is wealthier than they are.
Okay.
Or at least from a wealthier family. Whether or not he himself has money, I don't know. I'm sure that if he married, well, maybe they'd give him a...
He said that there was a point...
wait a minute. That's not what happens. They get money from the daughter because the parents pay to take this girl off her hands, damn it.
Yeah, maybe he was looking forward to, like, a few extra, like, cows or chickens or
something. Or francs.
Yeah. But, like, he had made a comment about him not being, like, further along financially because, like, Belle dipped town. Because Belle sacrificed herself. And he, like, seemed, like, more mad about being poor than he was about Belle being what they all considered to be dead.
Yeah. Well, this whole thing is such a fun...
Yeah, it's a different time.
Thing. Yeah. So anyway, so the dad. Okay. So anyway, so gosh. So the dad is going to find his ship or to go collect his money from the ship or whatever the fuck it was, and so he's going into town, as always happens in these movies. The dad is always going into town to do something. So yeah, gets on his horse, he goes off, and when he's leaving, he's like, "So girls, I'm gonna have this money. So what y'all want?" And the girls are like, the daughters, the snotty ass older daughters are like, "Girl, I want me a monkey. I want me some jewels. I want me some dresses." And he's like, "Well, Belle, what do you want?" She's like, "I just want a rose, a beautiful little rose." And she probably says it better than that.
No. That was pretty much verbatim.
That
was perfect. Yeah.
Oh, rose. Anyway, so she wants a rose, and the other girl, her sisters are like, "You bitch, what the fuck, you asshole. He can get you anything, and you want a motherfucking rose. You a hoe." So
for real though, they were like,
I don't think he asked what their brother wanted, but who gives a shit? Because he's an asshole.
He was kind of scummy.
Out.
Like
very bad.
I didn't understand his stance on anything. Like,
he didn't have one. He was very wishy-washy.
Yeah, he was like for his sisters, but then he was also for his best friend who was like humiliating his sister.
Yeah. Because he was like, well, there was a weird part where he defended his friend, but then he defended his sisters. It was very all over the place. But he was also a drunk.
He told his friend to slap his sisters.
He did, yeah, he did. And then when he slapped,
he did it.
Yeah. He was like, "What the fuck? Why are you slapping my sister?" He's like, "You told me to."
Dude, that was your plan, guy.
I mean, anyway, but it basically, okay, so let's get the Disney.
Let's get into it. I'm done.
Let's get the Disney thing out of the way. So the Disney version of this
Mm-hmm.
is definitely based on this. Like, not based on it completely, but most of the story pieces they got from Jean Cocteau's Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
And in fact, in the what was it? What year was this? The 40 something?
46?
46. Disney had been working on a version of this back then. And then he saw this film and he's like, oh shit, that's fucking good. We can't do anything better than that. So scrap it. We're not doing it.
Yeah, let's do that, but make like the rose magical.
Well, no. He didn't come up with any of that stuff. They came up with that, in like 1990 and 91, whatever.
Right.
So, because Disney was dead. So the Disney company came up with the new version. But anyway, so Gaston is loosely based on the blonde friend in this version, which is played by Jean Maurice, who was Jean Cocteau's lover at the time. Yes, and he also plays the Beast.
Just real quick, I just noticed that I have my Belle apron here.
Oh, I saw that.
From the Disney. I didn't do that intentionally, one bit.
So the other thing that Disney took a lot from, well, they took a couple things. So they got the Gaston character basically from Jean Maurice, and then they got the Enchanted Castle. Now, this is what I was going to say about the original long-ass version, was the castle that she was staying in did have enchanted rooms, but they were kind of cut out for the lady version that I can't pronounce her name. So that version, maybe was it a woman? I don't know. I think it's reprinted in this. Is it reprinted in this?
It might be. It also might be difficult to know the gender of the person, unless it was like.
Yeah, I can't. I mean,
Amanda.
I don't know. I'm really bad at all that shit. No, yeah. It was. I think it was like Madam something.
Oh.
Blah, 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 blah.
Madam's a tell, for sure.
Madam. Yeah, I think it's Madam. Let's just say Madam. So, anyway, not the point. Based on this, yes. Well, Mimi, like M-M-E. Mm-hmm. That's a woman, right?
I thought, honestly, when I read that, I thought it was the title of the previous rendition.
No, that's her name.
Well, then right? Mimi it is.
Mimi La Prince de Beaumont. That sounds right. So, anyway, so she wrote this other version. She kind of cut out some of the shit. She's like, I don't need all this bullshit. But then Jean Cocteau was like, well, I like your condensed version, but I also like that enchanted motherfucker shit because I could do some special effects with the cameras and have some fun shit. So he does. And then Disney turned those into the enchanted objects that you see as part of the curse in the Disney version. So yes. Lumiere and Cogsworth and all that kind of shit.
This
is teapot. Or teapots or pots or
it's
whatever.
It's just Mrs. Potts,
Chippy,
dog.
Chippy
Chip is her son. Chippy Chew.
Chippy Chewy.
That's exactly how you address Chewy.
There you go. So, Chippy Chewy. So all those things were basically based on Jean Cocteau's version, which had the enchanted castle that had like the helping hands all over the place. So you'd see like hands holding the sconces.
Did you freeze?
Through walls holding candelabras and bullshit. So, and all that shit. So anyway, there we go. So there's the Disney thing. So also they made the Beast likable. And that was a big deal in Jean Cocteau's version, that he wanted to make the Beast a likable individual so that you'd actually be kind of disappointed when he turned into a human.
I mean, in the Disney version, I was definitely disappointed when he turned into a human. I was like, who is this guy? That's not the Beast I know. And in this version, I just didn't care. And I don't know.
I don't think anybody did. No, seriously. Like, it was a big deal when the movie came out. Like, Marlene Dietrich, who was actually a very good friend of Jean Cocteau. And he, in the very first screening of the film to all the producers or whatever, the company executives or whatever it was, he actually sit with them and held her hand through the whole thing because he was so nervous to show them this film. And then, of course, everybody fucking loved it. And they were like, oh, my God, it's amazing. And Marlene Dietrich was like, you go, girl. You get that Jean-Marie in bed. Anyway, but when she saw it, she's like, oh, no, bring me back my beast. Like, nobody liked it. And there was another famous French woman that basically said, no, maybe she wasn't French. Whatever, who cares? It was some other lady that was like, no, girl, that beast. That beast is hot, dude. Bring me back that beast. So that's how likable Jean Cocteau made the beast, was that at the end you were kind of disappointed that it became. And
I like that was like a line though. He was like, "Are you disappointed that I'm not the beast?" And she was like, "No, you just look like someone I once knew."
And that's the thing. He did take on the form of the Jean-Marie, like the Gaston kind of character. So if this had been true, if Disney had adapted this faithfully, he would have been Gaston at the end.
Yeah.
And it would have been like, oh shit, ew, gross. Like,
yeah, and that's like weird because I'm not saying all of us didn't, but we're not supposed to like Gaston. And while I liked Gaston because he
was a big burly, hairy, sexy dude, but
right, and but like
very vain.
Yeah,
I think
he had a whole
him
song
and
about
his
it.
sidekick should have just gotten together, and that would have been fine.
And you know what? That would have been fine. It would have been like,
that's
makes
probably
sense.
what the case
really
was.
Projecting all that aggression.
But he was just, he was just like, didn't want to. That's a whole different story for a different film. So we'll talk about that when we do the animated Beauty and the Beast from 1991. Was it 91? It was 91, right? Yeah.
That sounds right. That sounds right. I mean, I'm not a historian, but that sounds right.
No, that sounds right. Because I think Aladdin was 92. And so that works. So, not the point. Who cares? So,
okay.
So Beauty and the Beast. So at the end, but Jean Cocteau kind of did that on purpose. He wanted her to, and I can't remember why, I read it somewhere, but he basically kind of wrote it all like that on purpose to be like, well, now she's going to be stuck in just a relationship that she's not exactly happy with because she ended up with somebody that was not as great as the Beast. He basically wanted it to be that the Beast was a better version of that person than he ended up.
Yeah, but it also seems like a cop-out to me because, like, I thought that friend was supposed to be preferable, because he wasn't, like, necessarily pressuring her, was he? I can't remember. It was in another language, so I can't tell. Like, everyone was yelling, so I just thought that was normal.
And I wanted to be my wife all the time and stuff like that.
Yeah, he was like kind of polite as far as propositioning like a woman that you don't have like a real relationship with to marry you. He was kind of polite. And like he took no for an answer and was just like,
he was respectful of that. I'll give you that.
Yeah, but he was just kind of like But
he was also disappointed, and he also did. I mean, that's why in the end the Beast ended up with his likeness was because he was the one that went into the enchanted pavilion. Right?
Yes, the enchanted shed.
Shed.
They didn't call it a shed. I can't remember what he called it. Yes.
I don't know. Pavilion.
They probably said pavilion for sure.
Pavilion.
Sounding real familiar. Yeah.
Dip into that pavilion. So I just like saying things with a French kind of twist.
And you know what? I'm surprised we're not doing this whole episode that way.
I think that would be very inappropriate. All our French listeners will be like, ew, gross.
Oh, I don't want to offend our French listeners.
I don't want to offend anybody.
Believe me.
Believe me, people. I'm not trying to be offensive, I swear. I just really love the way that it sounds, and it makes me happy. So
It feels good. It feels good on the old mouth, on the old American
does.
mouth.
Pavilion. It just sounds better than
Yeah, we say
pavilion.
things so harshly.
Ah, you like that pavilion over there? You know, it's not as cute.
I really dug that one though.
So,
I would vote that it was almost as cute.
pavilion. So,
Yeah.
anyway, so what am I saying? So anyway, so the dad goes off. He doesn't have a ship come in, so he's pissed. He's like, God damn it, now I'm poor. Gotta go back home. And on his
Yeah.
way home, he gets lost.
Mm-hmm.
And he upons the Beast Castle. And when he goes inside, the beast isn't there, but like the doors open and it's all creepy and there's some great special effects.
Inviting some problem is what he's doing. He wants to start a fight. That's what that beast is doing. He was bored.
Well,
He was trying to start a
hold
fight.
on.
He left his
Hold
doors
on,
on
hold on,
open.
hold
He left
on.
his roses looking good. And
Hold on, girl.
go ahead.
So,
Go ahead.
but
Prove
I'm
me wrong.
saying, like, the castle, the enchanted castle, the helping hands were basically
It's very
like,
pretty.
hey, this is a person that walked into our place. Let's put up his horse. Let's let him inside. Let's light the candelabras beautifully, which was all done in a reverse shot. He had to walk backwards as they were being put out so that they would look like they were being lit up. And
Gorgeous.
yeah, it was beautifully done.
I agree. All
this is-
house-related things were gorgeous.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and this
Yeah.
is Jean Cocteau at his best. Like, this is what he does. He does beautiful special effects and tricks and camera things and stuff. And I was telling, well, I don't think that our recorded Bram Stoker's Dracula thing ever made it to the pod peoples, our footsie.
It did not, and you know
But
what? That one was a good episode.
yeah,
I really dug that one. We'll never be able to do it again. It's in the vibes.
no, it's in the vault.
Yeah, the only one coming out is vibes.
I did bring up that all of the in-camera special effects that Roman Coppola did for his dad in Bram Stoker's Dracula, which was directed by Francis Ford Coppola, in case you guys didn't know, all of the special effects in that were basically literal shot-by-shot copies of special effect shots from Jean Cocteau films, including Beauty and the Beast and Orpheus. Literally, they're frame for frame the exact same shots. Like when the dad approaches the door, the shadow moves like it does in Bram Stoker when you first see Dracula.
That shadow in Bram Stoker's Dracula is so good.
Oh God, yes.
It's so good.
It is. I mean, anyway, so just saying, like, these special effect shots that everybody loves in Bram Stoker's Dracula, which are lovable, they're all very good. Jean Cocteau did these motherfucking things in the 40s and the 50s. So, give credit. Respect. Give respect.
I thought I just gave respect to the same man.
Fist bump, or whatever it's called. So, yeah,
is that what you needed?
Yeah, boom, boom, boom.
Oh, I feel insulted.
Oh, wow. No, that's not what I meant.
Oh, no, I don't feel insulted either.
Good. So, anyway, so special effects, beautiful things. Oh, so he gets stuck in the castle, but then he's like, they give him a drink. Oh, and he gets blown like your hair. Like when the shock of seeing the hand like start moving and giving him some wine, like blows his hair back and he flings back in the chair. And I always love that. I was like, oh my God, that's so fun. Because it's so animated. It's such a, you know what I mean? Like that's the kind of thing you'd see in a cartoon or something, but it's in this amazing film. Anyway, he falls asleep after drinking that wine.
Mm-hmm, and, as you do.
Then he's like, okay, well, I have my fill. I'm going to get back on the road. I'm going to try to go. And while he's leaving, he sees the roses. And he's like, oh, shit, that's right. Belle wanted a rose. That's all she wanted. So why don't I just grab one? So he grabs this immaculately beautiful rose, which was very hard to light, by the way.
And all of them were immaculate, just FYI. He could have picked any rose. They were all
And
good.
he snapped that thing, and that beast showed up real quick. He's like, "Motherfucker, ooh, you
The
trying to
one thing I care about.
the only thing I love is a
Your
and
punishment is death.
you gonna die, bitch." And he's like, "No,
Or
no,
give me a daughter.
yeah." He's like,
Oh.
no. I want to take this for my daughter. She's so cute. She's so pretty. I just love her so much, and I don't have anything in the world. And let me give her the role."
Yeah, no.
Like,
He said he would give it to he got it for his daughter, and he was like, I have 3 daughters. Like,
would you like one of those?
yeah, just like right out the gate. Like Beast was not in it for the negotiations. He was like, oh, your punishment is death, and he was like, I have 3 girls. Like,
What about
yeah.
that son? I do. Uh,
Right? Like, come
in
on,
real
get it
life,
together. He's lonely.
in
He'll take a
real
body.
life. So, anyway, but that's the first time we see the Beast, and he looks amazing. Talk about his costume and his makeup.
Mm-hmm.
He took 5 hours a day to get into that makeup. He was
When
completely covered.
when I saw the Beast, John, I want you to know, the Beast comes out from the shadows, and I was like, this is why John picked this. Oh, look at that outfit. He is
Oh yeah,
gorgeous.
it's good. It's amazing. It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
head to
Um,
toe.
they actually had to postpone shooting because Jean Cocteau had gotten very ill from a skin disease of some sort, and he was in a lot of pain and a lot of bad whatever. And he basically was like, I feel bad because like all this that I'm going through is basically what poor Jean Maurice is going through from having to take this fucking shit off and on his skin all the time because it was messing up with Jean Maurice's skin.
That's why he couldn't play Pretty Beast at the end. That's the reason, John.
Yeah, they had to make him a human.
He had welts from the from the glue.
But anyway, so beautiful beastie makeup shit.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very good.
Agreed.
And in fact, I think Disney's kind of looks similar, sort of. Not as elegant, but
no, it did, and I could tell when Homeworld went to pet his head, and he was like, "You pet me like an animal." But like when his head was down, it looked like Disney. All they did was embellish. Like they teased his hair back here. They gave him a little bump, but that seemed to be it. Like he was mostly the same. He had wide shoulders, just like in this movie, except this movie really just had like football pad shoulders.
Yeah,
Whereas
some big
whereas Disney made it like
things.
More anatomical, like he was like an animal head to toe, and not just a hairy human.
But it was very similar.
Yeah, I got the message.
So anyway, so the dad goes back. The Beast is like, sure, okay, fine. You could take the rose back to your daughter. You could go take but one of them's got to come back.
One of them's got to come back, and if they shoot Cowwood, you got to come back. And he's like,
if they don't do it, you got to come back. It's a thing. So he sent them off on his magical horse, which was what was the horse's name? It was.
It was Maleficent. It was Magnificent, but it was like in French.
A magnificent, something like that.
Magnificante. Magnificante or something like that. Is that Spanish? Am I messing that up? Is that Italian?
Something. It's bad. We're bad.
Magnificant is what it was, and you were like, take me to where I need to go. Go. Yeah.
But I think in French it's like what? VVV or Vi or something like that.
That sounds like
I'm not.
It sounds like a Venga Boys song.
French in college. In fact, that's why I left college
because of French.
Me. God, yes, that woman hated me, and she made it so difficult and made me feel like I was the shittiest person in the world for not being able to pronounce something correctly. And I was like, you know what? Probably a number. I don't know. No. But it's funny because the reason I wanted Italian, but they didn't offer it. And the reason I chose French was like, well, I do love a lot of French films, so it'd be nice to watch it without subtitles. That would be nice. So anyway, I'll watch it with subtitles. It's fine. So anyway, so he sends the horse back with him, and he's like, just put one of your daughters on the horse and tell her to go back home, bitch. And take her back home, or take her back to the castle, and then she'll be stuck there forever, and blah blah blah. Yeah. So he goes back home. He's like, oh y'all. Oh, by the way, while he was gone. He was gone for a long time, I guess. I don't know. It seemed like a night.
He had 3 days, Johnny.
Well, I'm saying, like, when he went to go find his ship or whatever, and then, like, I thought it was like a day or 2 or something, but apparently it was like long enough for the son to be like, I guess I'll sign away all my dad's belongings and shit so we can have some money to eat. So the son sold all the furniture and belongings and everything.
Yeah, and he was just like, he's dead. We don't have money.
And the daughters are like, what the fuck is wrong with you? We ain't got no seats to sit in. No, nothing. What is that noise? What happened?
That was me. I should probably... Can we pause? I should probably mute that because it's going to do it again. For sure. Or you can keep talking. I just won't be here for it.
Oh my gosh, what's happening?
Love you.
Oh, she's screaming. So the son sold the furniture, and the sisters were pissed. Everybody's upset. Jean-Maurice is like, dude, you stupid, but I told you to do it. I helped you sign the papers. Yeah, so then what happens then? Oh yeah, so then the dad comes home. The dad finally gets back home, and he's like, my ships didn't come in. We still po as fuck. And now I've accidentally promised you guys, one of you, to go take my place with this beast because I sold a rose for Belle. And of course, now the sister's like, you fucking cuntbag bitch. You just caused the death of our dad because you wanted a motherfucking rose, you selfish bitch.
Yeah, he was to bring back a monkey before Belle went and made him take that rose.
Monkeys, fools, and gowns and shit.
Yeah.
But the rose, that pushed everything over the edge. Just nasty, selfish bitch wanted a rose. So
Monster.
anyway, she's a horrible person. So So she, so anyway, so she feels bad, and everybody's like, oh, geez, Louise, what are we gonna do? And then now the dad's dying. By the way, did we mention that before?
He was always dying. It didn't matter. This is just like the straw that broke the camel's back because he's old. He's dying of old age. Apparently, he bleeds from the mouth when he's old. And
Belle is like, well, I'm gonna sneak off in the night, get on the horse, go to the beast, and
go
skate him, and maybe it'll save my dad, I guess. I don't know.
Just pause real quick, John. I want a quick note in here that Belle refused the proposal of her brother's friend, who's like not bad in the eyes, but it's also like why? She said no, couldn't do it. Because I don't want to be away from my dad.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah,
but
and then
quick to get on that horse and leave.
Yeah, well, she was like, I would die of the grief of you being gone. I can't live without you, sort of. And so she was like, all right, goodbye. Totally fine. She wants to save her dad because like if he dies, she's dead. Yeah. And so she dips on out. She goes on Maleficent. And she gets to she goes back to the castle. She's also enamored by all the enchantment. She's like, oh shit, there's hands and shit. Mm-hmm.
And girl, you're trying some things with that hands. But anyway, so
dude, when she went in, like all the open windows that still had bed sheets over them, loved that scene.
Oh, it was beautiful slow motion. It's gorgeous when she runs up the stairs in her gown, and it's absolutely.
And she's like slowly like skirting through it. Yeah, it's pretty great.
Beautiful special effects for this whole, and we're kind of discounting all that because we're trying to just tell the story. But this is one of those things where it's a beautiful film to watch. Like you really should watch it.
It is. It's very pretty. Yeah.
it's one of those where it should be on your list of films to watch before you die, kind of things. Like it's absolutely.
Oh, wow.
I'm serious. It's amazing.
It's visually appealing for sure. Absolutely. Yes, I would agree with that.
Done with cameras and actors and things. It's not done with animated things that are easy to do that with.
It's practical, is what John means.
I'm saying it takes a lot of skill to come up with that shit. So
it does. It's
watch it for that sake. And like I said, it still looks good for, it was 40, 46. I keep asking. I should know this. 46. So hello, 1946, and it's still amazing. It really does. It really keeps up with, I mean, it's beautiful. And the special effects are very impressive. What?
Can you light yourself?
No, I don't know.
Not for the audience. I just want to see you.
I can't.
I just want to see you.
Can you see me better now? No, that was worse. I don't know how to do it. Can you see me?
Oh, perfect. Stay there the whole time. Like Rocky Horror Picture Show. Except you have to go upside down and do it. Yeah, talk about Michael Renning. And
I'm not talking about that stuff because we're not talking about that. So anyway, so Beast is there, and every night he's gonna come and ask her to marry him, and she's like, "No, bitch, I ain't gonna marry your ass." And he's like, "Well, I'm gonna come back and ask every night." Now, in the original long ass version that I was telling you about, he asked every single night
at 7 p.m.
Probably, if she would sleep with him. Like that's how raunchy that version was. That was old too. That's like 1500s, girl.
I'm gonna check out that version.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Is it just like
that also was the
hey yo, Belle, you wanna pop in these sheets tonight? No?
Girl,
okay, I'll be back tomorrow. He handles rejection really well, if that's the case.
Like, I might be rough as a fucking beast, but I got these silky sheets. I don't know. So anyway, so she's like, "No, girl." Oh, by the way, Jean Cocteau based the makeup and everything, the look of the beast, off of a man that suffered from that illness where hair grew out of all your pores.
Oh, yeah.
And which is funny because there's a film.
I mean, it looks like it.
Yeah.
Freaks? Are you talking about Freaks?
No, not Freaks. It's a film called Fur that has Robert Downey Jr. and he plays a character that has that problem. And it's an imagined portrait of Jane Arbus. Is that how you say her name? She's a photographer. Anyway, it's like a fictional version of her falling in love with that character. And it has a very sexy scene where Nicole Kidman shaves Robert Downey Jr. Girl, it is hot. That is a sexy scene.
Head to toe?
Yeah, like shaves.
Because it's like all over.
It's all over.
Could you imagine the razor burn? She would have to change out blades.
And
like
that would
be so much.
That was the thing that bothered me about that scene was that I was like, you can't tell me. First of all, that it took. I feel like it would have taken so long that he would have started growing hair back somewhere.
Yeah. Did she just shave him and then it was like done? He was like a normal human again?
Yeah, he looked like Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, girl, clearly that's not going to happen. He's going to have some stubble all over him, including his eyeballs.
Could you imagine that stubble? Like,
cause you imagine having.
I imagine that they are like
selfish woman. You wanted to shave me for your own gratification, and meanwhile, I got to have all this hair grow back on my body. Because I mean, growing a beard back is bad enough, let alone like growing a whole body of hair
like on your tuchus and like in between your legs. Like, oh,
God!
Think of all the little bumps. She didn't put no cream on him. I know she didn't.
I don't think she did. I think she just like razor and a bottle of whiskey. I don't know. Chug down on this fool. I'm gonna shave your ass. Anyway, not the point. So anyway, so the bell goes back. She says no. She says no. She says no, and then she's like, "I wish I could see my daddy." Like you remember in into Beauty and the Beast by Disney, and he does. I think there is a magic mirror, right? Or no, she puts on a glove.
No, well, there is a magic
There's a
mirror
magic mirror.
when she first gets to the castle. I think she meets the magic mirror before she meets the Beast, and the magic mirror was like straight up with her. She was like, "I'm going to show you what you want to see, dog." And then she shows her dad, who he's laying in bed with a little bit of like blood dribbling from his mouth. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
and then she sees the Beast, and he's like, "I'm hideous. You're hot. Let's marry." Okay, I'm gonna ask you again at 7 p.m. So I'll see you at dinner.
Time. So,
yeah,
and meanwhile, he goes out and kills things, and his hands smoke, and there's all kinds of special effects and great things. So
yeah, he does. And he goes out and kills a thing, and he keeps asking her to forgive him, which the Beast, like, homegirl is mostly captive by the Beast and his like one man like his monologues throughout the film, because sometimes he just says the same thing over and over and over again, and she's just like, "I heard you, I heard it, and I was like,
girl, I've been on
Belle,
that.
this is my prison. Like, you and me both, lady." Oh my
We're
word.
both angry.
Yeah, and he was just like, "Forgive me, forgive me, forgive me, forgive me," and she was like, "You know what? You're a beast. Yeah, if that's what you want to hear, you're a beast." And he was like, "I can't bear you to look at me with those eyes. Close the door." And she was just like, "Oh, okay. Like, can I see my dad?" Like,
so anyway, so he gives her the gloves, the magic gloves, so she can go home. Yeah. And I don't know, what's she gonna do there?
Special glove.
Oh, and the
she cries diamonds.
Like, oh yeah, and then she goes back, and she's dolled up in her fancy fucking shit. And
in the biggest gown that she could find.
It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. And she goes, and the sisters are fucking like, "Whoa, what is this immaculate dress and these jewels?" And she's like, "I don't even care about the jewels. Here, take them." And she gives them to them, and when she hands them over, they turn into what, coal or something? Like
it was like old branches, like onion, like
it was just like
or whatever.
Shit.
Yeah.
So basically,
but it was like fine. It wasn't spooky at all to anyone. She handed it to them. They were just roots. And then like they dropped them to the ground, and her dad picked them back up, and he was like, "The pearls are meant for you." Like, and everyone was like, "That tracks. That tracks." Yeah, nobody's like thrown off. One bit.
Oh my god!
They're just like, Belle has
witches,
something we don't.
Yeah, we're gonna throw you in that water, see if you float.
So, plotting behind her. They're like,
yeah,
that's normal. Yep. Get the books. Get the books.
Get the fucking.
Yeah, we'll weigh her on the scale.
Get the burner. Anyway, so if she doesn't burn, it's fine, or whatever it is. So anyway, and then she goes back. Why did she go back? I can't remember.
Because she loves the Beast. She kept trying to convince them that she wasn't in love with him, but she was fond of him. And it was like,
I think the guy that Jean-Marie asked her, right? Like, what, you love the Beast? And she's like, I hate him.
She's like, I see kindness in his eyes.
So she goes back. Maybe he
seems remorseful when he does beastly things.
I think she has to go back.
John, I need to see you. Pause the podcast.
I can't pause. I don't know what to do. Maybe if I go over
your sunlight's
but now I have to hold all this shit in my hands.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I don't know where to put it.
But look how pretty.
Ooh.
Oh. I did it too.
So, anyways, Jean Cocteau, Beauty and the Beast. She goes back. She goes back to him. He's like, "Oh, hey girl, what's up? Oh, I'm dying. Let me get some water from this old gross sewage. Oh, which by the way, it was sewage. It was on the back of the the studio or whatever. It was like their sewage drain or something. So
Right
yeah,
on.
that's gross.
Well,
Oh, and by the way,
they
he
spent a lot of money on making the beast look
all of
so
the
elegant.
reality. He wanted it to look like Vermeer paintings, by the way, which it did. It was very beautiful. And the rest of it was based off of some other artist, but I can't pronounce his name, and I'm not even gonna try. So anyway, and yeah.
Gross.
So anyway, so he's dying. She's like, and then there's the whole debacle of the brother and Jean-Maurice going to the beast because like they're like, oh shit, all these riches and shit. Let's go back there. Let's kill him. Let's take a shit. They come across the pavilion, and it's of course enchanted of some sort. And they're like, you can't go in there. I think they get a warning too.
Probably. That sounds about right. Like there's a
you can't
glowing
go in
shed
there.
that's gonna have like a little like sign.
And then
Like,
when they tried
don't go
to
in.
shoot arrows or something, they turned into flowers or something. It was whatever. Anyway, so they break into the thing, and as soon as it happens, the beast turns into the human, which is Jean-Maurice, and
not even like, the beast. Yeah.
Yeah, she's like, oh shit, you human. And he's like, yeah, girl, I'm human. What, you mad? She's like, well, that's
You're
okay.
Not as hot, yeah.
And he's like, okay, well, let's sail off into the clouds. And they jump, and it's reverse footage, and it's beautiful. And
oh yeah, they fly away.
They fly away.
Johnny, where did they go?
I don't know.
They just left the kingdom behind.
Well, they don't need it no more. And besides, those people
what do you
ruin
mean they don't need it no more?
Those other bitches ruin the enchantment anyway, so it doesn't matter.
He's enchanted enough to like zip up and away.
You know, and I don't think they went into Jean Cocteau didn't go into the backstory. I don't think the Belmont version did either. All the backstory of why the beast was enchanted and all that shit. Like
no. The beast. All right, ready? The beast's parents didn't believe in sorcerers, and so a sorcerer made them pay by cursing their son.
That sounds right.
That's what happened. And he was like, so this is me the way I was meant to be. You mad? And she was like,
this is me.
Yeah, and she was like, kinda, but like, what are we gonna do? I learned to love you ugly. I guess I'll learn to love you pretty.
Sounds about right. I will say the live action version of well, no, actually, let's go back. Let's go back to the animated version by Walt Disney in 1991 when he turned back into a human. Now I know technically everybody liked the Beast, but girl, that is one of the hottest dudes ever. Like
hotter
when he
than
turned
Prince Eric.
Yes, are you kidding me? Now Prince Philip is my favorite, but I will say the human version of the Beast is fucking hot. Like I was probably the only person not disappointed. I was like, yes, please. He was hot, and he had those like big ass calves. It's just good.
He did have big calves, but he also had really like plump lips, and like I wasn't about it.
What's wrong with that?
I was like, give me my Beast back.
Whatever.
Let's go back to the library. I wasn't into books, but libraries are.
In fact, if he could switch back, you know, that'd be fun. Like, could you
still enchanted enough to just like flip flop?
He's like, yeah. Like every once in a while, I'm like, hey, girl, you wanna get back in that fur? You wanna get back in that fur?
Belle's just suddenly like a furry. And she's like in it. she's like, I can't go back.
She would like deer in their fantasy, and he'd have to come and hunt her. Ooh, it's very sexy. Hold on, I got an itch, and I can't hold all these things. Oh my god, there's so much going on right now. I'm itching my in my neck. Just so everybody knows.
But the camera like went up high enough for to not know what it was.
So anyway, so that's the end.
And yeah, it concludes. They fly off to Fairyville and they leave their riches behind.
I mean, I guess they can come back. Whatever, they can fly. It's fine. So maybe in that version, he could switch back and forth. She'd probably be okay with that.
She'd probably prefer that. She like was open about it. She was like,
yeah, I think she prefer. So, what are your final thoughts?
I thought, like, so when I first started watching it, I was like, oh, I'm watching Beauty and the Beast. And then when it started, I was like, oh, I'm watching Cinderella. And then I was like, wait a minute. This is still Beauty and the Beast because Homegirl's name is Belle. And they're like, Belle, 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 Belle. But she had, like, evil biological sisters. Like, they were the worst.
Yeah.
But I dug it overall. It was a very pretty movie.
I told you. I was so excited for you to see it, too.
Yeah, I really dug it. I really dug how pretty. I just like, even when Belle comes back and like she sees her dad, she cries her diamonds, and like her dad's like, oh, you know, she's back for a week. This also reminded me of a story of the girl in the box. I don't know, when I read about it, the woman had not released her name, her like true identity, but she was like held captive for like 7 or like 11 years or whatever, and she was like a sex slave, and she wanted to visit her family, of whom she hadn't talked to for a good amount of time, and he was like, I'll give you a week. And then he let her go see her family, and it was for like a weekend tops, and he like brought her back. But I was like, oh no, he's gonna bring her back so soon, just like that girl who was living in that box. But yeah, anyway.
My goodness.
But yeah, so when she came out, she cried her diamonds. She came out, and her siblings and her brother's friend were like talking shit. He was like, "Oh, Belle's here," and then one of them pops up above the bed sheet. There's a lot of bed sheets, and it's always cool.
Oh yeah.
So this
yeah.
man like.
That was a thing. The bed sheets. It was actually during or after the war. When was 46? I'm bad with dates.
After World War II. After World War II. Yeah, you're talking about like the World War with like the Nazis and like whatever.
Yeah.
That was like
they had a lot of issues because of the repercussions of that, and like when they filmed it, and they actually had a hard time finding sheets that were big enough for those scenes that didn't have patches all over them. And when they did find them, they ended up being stolen while they weren't filming. So it was very hard for them to keep them because everybody wanted those fucking sheets.
Oh, they were quality sheets.
Yeah, they were super quality.
Yeah.
Very nice.
But yeah, there's a bed sheet, and they did that move that you see where like one person pops up over the sheet, and then another person pops up, and then another person, and they pop out over and over and over. Like, it was beautiful. Loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it. And I loved what one of her evil biological sisters was wearing like a Panama hat, like a big one.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I was like, love that hat. Yeah. She just looked like it was carved out of wood.
Yeah, the bitchy daughters were fucking bitchy, but they were dressed beautifully. They looked great.
Yeah, I mean, all of them were, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Except for the dad. The dad didn't look good at any point in time.
Didn't bring up these things, but like he did a lot of fun camera transitions or scene transitions, like where they'll be standing in I don't know how to explain that, but he'd have them standing in very specific spots. I mean, it looked casual. It didn't look like it was staged. And then when he faded the scene into the next scene, all of their heads were where the windows were in the house, kind of thing. So it all lined up.
Oh, okay. Right.
He did a lot of beautiful things. I love that kind of shit. Anyway, we'll do Orpheus at some point, so you can see all those things that he did in that one.
Orpheus, is that what you said?
Yes. Orphée. Okay. It's a version of the Orpheus story that he did. Anyway, Jean Maurice is also in that, and then one of my favorite actresses, I cannot remember her name. Oh my god, Maria Casares is in that, and oh my God, she's gorgeous. I love her. She was also in Les Dames du Bois de Boulogne, which is a film that Jean Cocteau wrote, but he did not direct. But anyway, also fantastically gorgeous. I think it was...
Yeah, Jean Cocteau, before filmmaking, he was also best known as being a poet, right?
Yeah, he was a poet and a playwright, and he actually he did Blood of a Poet very early on, the film Blood of a Poet, and it was very successful. But then he had, because of the war and everything, he decided to write plays instead. And then when those started to get hard to produce because of the Nazis and all that kind of shit, and their censorship of everything, he decided, well, I should probably start making films. And Beauty and the Beast was the first one that he did when he came back. And like Blood of a Poet was like, what, 1920 something, and then this was 1946. So it was a long gap in between. But he basically was adapting a lot of his stage plays into films. And but that's why he came back into to do film, was that and he's, I mean, obviously good at the special effects, like amazing.
Yeah.
But I felt like there was something else I was going to say there, but I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, we're all
anyway
waiting for it.
He did everything though. He also wrote ballets. He did. I mean, he just did. He was one of those people that was just amazing at everything he did.
Yeah.
And he liked the man, girl. Just saying. He was the gay. He's a gay.
Oh. Yeah, and that's always a plus. We're always looking.
Always a plus.
Always looking
always
for,
look for the gays. They coming out of the woodwork. So, anyway, so yeah. So your final thoughts were what now? I can't remember.
Oh no, I dug it. Yeah, no. I don't have a rating. Do you want me to rate it?
We forgot to do ratings on the last one.
But are we doing ratings?
We start them, but
out of 10. Wait, no, 6 toesies.
You're only give them 6 toes?
Yeah, like what is a 10 to you? Obviously, Midsummer.
Well, Barry Lyndon is a 10 to me. I would give
Terminator
this one
2.
Oh my gosh.
We're different people, John.
Wow. Yeah, so Barry Lyndon's my 10 toes. I'd give this one 9.
9.
Yeah.
I would genuinely give it like 7.5. Like I could keep balance on.
It is seriously one of my top films of all times. I absolutely love this film.
And you know what? I can see it. And I can see why. It's pretty good.
It's also, Jean Cocteau films are some of my favorite to put on before I go to sleep. Especially Blood of a Poet. But this one is one that I've seen a lot because of that reason. Like I love it. So yeah, nine toes for me. And what would you
hate that we're doing toes. I hate that
it works with our theme.
And now we're like committing to it for like
we forgot
no
to
reason.
Midsummer toe.
10 toes, obviously.
10 toes for you. I'd give that. I'm gonna follow suit with you, and I'd give that 7.5 toes.
I mean, that's good. That's pretty good. It's a pretty good rating. Most of the stuff, like even I would give like 4 toes. Like, I mean, I don't know what's wrong with me.
I feel like Vibe, we'd probably give that. Did we already toes that one?
I think we gave it 5 toes. I think it was 1 foot on the ground. I think that's what we gave. That's where we started this with the.
That's how that's 1 foot on the ground, 5 toes. So this would be an unbalanced foot on the ground, but it's pretty. It's mostly on the ground. Almost
mostly on the ground. You wouldn't be able to tell.
No. So, what's your suggestion?
I would probably. I don't know. Honestly, the 1991 Beauty and the Beast. You know what? If you like this, but you also like comedy, like a lighter, like affair, Ever After.
Yeah, which one's Ever After?
The one with Drew Barrymore.
Oh, Cinderella Story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep
Cinderella
that
Story.
on Blu-ray, but it's like more expensive than I wanted it to be. So
Weird. I'm surprised it's not like
I know,
like
I
a
thought that
$5
would be
bin. Yeah.
a cheapy one. I also can't find a Clueless at the cheap price either because I need to replace that. Anyway, not the point. So
hit up a Big Lots when the.
yeah, I wish.
When
You know,
it's
I
all
go to
over.
all those. Seriously.
Really? You just
Check those constantly. Oh, you need to go check it. See what they got.
Well,
I've got great fucking things at those places though.
I
got Big Lots.
I
Kid.
got RoboCop. I got a Blu-ray of RoboCop from there for like $2. It was nice.
Terminator. I got most of my Terminators there.
Yeah.
Well, half. I got a set of Dracula films, the old ones with what is it, Bela Lugosi, I think. It's a whole entire series of Dracula films, including the ones where he met Abbott and Costello.
Excellent.
But it's like a whole box set that was like, I don't know, $10. It's like, fuck yeah, give me that fucking shit.
Yeah, that's nice.
On the Blu-ray.
Yeah.
You find amazing things there. Yeah, Riddick. I got the Riddick movies, the whole series. I know. Well, first of all, I actually
just was not expecting like you to be a Chronicles of Riddick type of guy, because that's like Pitch Black, right?
Well, Pitch Black was the first one, and then Chronicles of. But they also had, and this is going to be the big money factor for me, the short animated film that was directed and designed by Peter Chung, who did Aeon Flux. So, I'm going to love that. So, yeah, I was excited to get that for $5. Right. Anyway.
What would you recommend?
So, I would recommend, I was hoping you were going to suggest Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Oh, because that one is good. That one is super good, and I didn't think about it. I should have.
Because I was either going to do that, or I was going to say you should pick another Jean Cocteau and go for Orpheus.
I haven't seen Orpheus, so I couldn't recommend it.
Or you could do Les Dames du Bois de Boulogne. I don't know. I have a lot of suggestions. Yeah. In fact, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and suggest that. Nobody's going to watch it, so it doesn't matter anyway.
We'll put a link in the show notes. And,
yeah, I like doing that. I did that with the last one. I thought it was kind of cool.
Awesome.
So you guys can check those out. See if you want to check them out or whatever, and do that shit. And so yeah, you can find us on the social medias. We've got the Instagram. Mm-hmm. 1 Foot Podcast.
1 Foot Podcast. And you can find us at 1footpodcast@gmail.com. You can email us anything, requests, any comments, concerns, anything like that. If you just want to reach out, say hello, do it.
If you want to say our French was bad, that's cool too. Just
I in particular like that. So address it to me in like the subject. That would be great.
John was shitting at this thing. So that way, if I say it's for you, I'll just not read it. I'll be like, oh.
And I'll be like, it's for me, John. You did great. Couple notes.
It compliments your pronunciation of billion. Sorry, guys.
And I won't be able to tell because I can't read. So it's perfect. Yeah. And then, we're 1 Foot Podcast everywhere on the social medias except for Facebook, where we're 1 Foot Podcast on the ground. Or no, we're 1 Foot on the Ground. I forgot our podcast name. 1 Foot on the Ground podcast. And next week we're going to be watching Sleeping Beauty. What year is that, John?
Shit.
We're going to be watching Sleeping Beauty, the only one you know. And
I want to say it's 59. I think.
Are you sure it's not 61?
No, it's not 61 for sure. It's definitely 50. It's 59.
Sleeping Beauty, 1959, or the only one you know, and we will see you then.
John's probably right.
Yeah, John's probably right, but I didn't verify it, so I can't commit to it.
I'm always toggling with that one, but I'm pretty sure it's 1959.
1959. Bye-bye.